So 11 years ago, I quit my almost 30-year career, and I just set off to follow my heart with no plan for once in my life and no place to go other than I was going to feel my way to the next right move. Teaching yoga had been one of the things I was doing because yoga was a huge impact on my life back 15 years earlier. So I was doing that through Parks and Rec at night, just for fun, for something different to do. And all of a sudden that fell into my lap as my next move. Teaching all over town, teaching privately, working for Parks and Rec in my city. So from there, it catapulted me to learning all kinds of things, anything that I could to reconnect with myself, I guess you'd say. So I went on a journey, open to anything, ready to learn. And the universe basically, once I dropped all those doors and shields and all of that stuff that kept me safe and stuck, the world opened up for me.
I love that you just said it kept you safe and stuck, because those are two different things. But I've also found in my experience that the things that we do to protect ourselves from maybe a situation we're in, a relationship we're in, a work environment, whatever it is, we think it's going to keep us safe, but it does keep us stuck. And it's when you're finally able to take off that armor and breathe and think and decide, like, that all of these other doors open. So what was the catalyst? What was the thing that prompted you to go on this soul searching mission?
That's a real good question. When I was 45, my oldest son was about to graduate from high school. And then 2 years later, my youngest son was about to graduate. And I knew that life as I knew it was going to change because I had done pretty much the planned thing that I was taught to keep me safe from a young age, where you graduate from high school, you go to college, you decide on a career, you get married, you have a house, you have children, you keep working, you prepare for the future. All of that was done. And now I knew that everything was going to change because the roles that I played and the way that I played them was going to be different. I was going to have this time. And as I started taking a hard look at myself, because I love those personality tests that you take and all of those, I started reading books and I realized there was a huge disconnect between who I was when I was in work mode and who I was when I was in home mode. I didn't see myself the way the world saw me. And it bothered me for a little bit that I was like so off. And the catalyst, I think, was changing a job late in my career to one that was super high stress, one that I wasn't good at, one that moved me out of my comfort zone, but not in the good way. And I only lasted a year at that job. The rest of my life felt like I was falling apart when I hit my rock bottom. The catalyst was I was so stuck that I could not even find joy in life anymore. I couldn't find things to be grateful for. I couldn't get myself out of a funk, which had never happened to me before. I was always the overachiever. The plan was set. I was going to get there. But all of a sudden I realized that I'd gotten to all the plans that I had ever set out to do. And yet something wasn't right. I wasn't right. And when I quit my job to follow my heart, that's when I learned I was a highly sensitive person. By reading Elaine Aron's book, I don't know if you're familiar with it, but that was life-changing for me to understand how I could be overwhelmed when no one else around me was, how it just introduced me to energy and then to Reiki and then to spiritual things that I had lost long ago because I'm from a very religious town, and none of those planned, organized religious paths brought me to the same connection that I got as a kid when I sat outside in the woods under a tree.